All right, welcome everyone. Today we have the VEEPIO team with us. Very excited to launch and host them today.
My name is Najee Good. I'm a former NFL linebacker, about 30 pounds ago, co-founder of VEEPIO with Jonathan. Been happy to take this journey. It's been a pleasure to meet you guys. I'm a Super Bowl champion of Super Bowl 52, war number 52. So got a special connection there, and I'm happy to bring our company to the world to bring more exposure and to monetize the digital space that we've carved out here.
Jonathan, tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
Sure. My name is Jonathan Ellier. I'm the founder of VEEPIO. Najee and the rest of the team, we all played football at West Virginia. After that, I spent 13 years on Wall Street building high-frequency trading systems until we identified the opportunity we're going to talk to you about today. So we're excited to show you the intersection of these worlds.
And then before we dive into the materials with Jonathan and Najee, Pankaj, could you tell us a little bit about the offering available today?
All right, great. So it's a $10 million convertible. It's a Reg D 506C. It's a minimum investment of $100,000. So since it's a convertible unsecured note, it's the term of maturity is 24 months. Interest rate is 12% per annum, which is accrued, paid at the end. And you also get 25% discount on conversion. So this is a good deal, which kind of matches this particular this structure is really good for a deal like this, where we're launching an app, a technology platform, and it really benefits the investor to come in this early with the team.
So, and Brian, actually, if you'd like to introduce yourself and tell the crowd here a little bit about your background, that'd be wonderful.
Hi, my name is Brian Halper. I've been in CFO or outsourced CFO, COO for multiple different companies for the last 20 or some years. I've been working with VEEPIO since the beginning. I go way back with John and Najee and the rest of the team. All the way back to West Virginia. Najee's a little bit after me, but played with John. So excited to be here, and I've got a great future for VEEPIO.
Thank you for joining. Tell us, what is VEEPIO?
All right. So you're going to hear about a very unique company today, and here's how it started. So as you can see, you met Brian. Brian played at West Virginia. I did. Our other founder, Grant, played there. Najee played there. And we really got our origin when Najee was hurt, and he came to West Virginia and met with one of our other founders. And he didn't know if his career was going to extend. It did. But our partner invited him up to New York, and we showed him what we were thinking about doing. We had a long conversation, and we started to roll out the plan. And Najee said, hey, do you mind if I call somebody? I'm getting really excited. Do you mind if they listen? So we did. We didn't think anything of it. And all of a sudden, we heard a really deep voice say, I love it. Get started. That was D'Amico Ryans. So D'Amico is now the head coach of the Houston Texans. So as you can see, this thing is by players, for players, and they have now risen to the upper echelon of one of the biggest sports entertainment leagues on the planet. And the reason that's so important is because we've all shared this unique perspective of being on the field. We all understand name, image, and likeness. We understand sponsors, and we really understand fans and the goals of the teams, which obviously is to make money. So all of these things need to come together in a cohesive manner to make money, to make sure people have a great time, right? And really to facilitate the function and the business model of the team. So what's fascinating about VEEPIO is we figured out how to make all that work in a singular workflow. And that's what we're going to talk to you about today. So we've invented something called VEEPs. And here's what VEEPs are. VEEPs are a technology that we've created that integrates with mobile apps of NFL teams and really any mobile app in the world. And so what our technology does is it integrates with the mobile app and it makes objects interactive. And it does it by creating a box around the object and placing a hyperlink behind it. Why that matters is now we can deliver the entire internet inside an object in a video within the team's mobile app, which is fascinating. It doesn't matter what frame, it doesn't matter what's happening. We can allow you to shop that object directly without leaving the team's platform. And that solves one of the biggest problems they have, which is with the proliferation of social media platforms, a lot of this traffic is happening off the NFL's digital platform. And what is their goal, right? Their goal is to bring that back over the walled garden and make sure all those incredible fan interactions and experience and sponsorship campaigns and influencer marketing campaigns all happen within their ecosystem. And that's why they're so excited about us, is because now they can do that. Traditionally, let's talk about sports and sports marketing and sponsorship. So traditionally, what most teams and leagues have done is they'll get a brand partner, Nike, in this case, Verizon, and they'll put their logo on a pop-up ad in the mobile app. And I know everyone on this call hates pop-up ads. We hate them. But we found something really interesting, which is not only are they bad, but they're not worth the money they're charging. And it actually upsets the fan experience, right? It's lose, lose, lose. So we thought, oh, this is a wonderful place to enter. We can take the team content that they've already paid the money and got the licensing rights to take. We can then add the sponsor's product within that. It's already merchandise of the team. And then with our technology, we can highlight that object and product, and we can sell it directly from the sponsored messaging that the team does in partnership with the brand. And as you can see, our way looks a heck of a lot better than their way. And there's all sorts of added benefits. Look how much cleaner this looks. No one needs to be taught how to use a cell phone. The entire world's kind of agreed how content will be delivered on the phone. It's in a feed, right? So there's actually 1.2 billion units of media that gets created and sent by the NFL and distributed to all 32 team mobile apps. Why does that matter? Well, we can monetize every single one. And we can't do it just once. We can do it forever. So like this picture here with Jalen Hurts, you'll see our logo. That'll let you know that the screen is, the content is interactive. You can then click on any box that you want, and you'll get a product preview, these Nike Vapor cleats, right? Or you could shop his helmet. Here's the beautiful part. You never leave the Philadelphia Eagles ecosystem ever. So all of that engagement, all of that time spent, all of the branding and team messaging that's there that the sponsors are paying so much for with the influencer, the player, it's all merchandise in one spot. And with our tech, now they can turn it into money. So how does it work? So on the creation side, we have a mobile technology that we call VEEPmaker. And VEEPmaker is a proprietary app that the teams get. And what it does, it takes all the NFL content. We're approved content management vendors for the NFL. Very hard to do. It took us a year. So with any team that the NFL publishes from the content management system, our VEEPmaker app grabs it and allows you in 3 steps to make an object interactive, add the the link where you can shop directly to that product, and then publish it in the team app. We can also take it away, so it edits in real time, which is another major feature for the firm. They just don't have this capability. So what does this mean money-wise? Well, the NFL is divided up into categories. So if you think of the top Fortune 100, travel, fashion, apparel, Nike, Under Armour, Reebok, you name it, Adidas, we can monetize every single exclusive category the NFL has and the team has. So we can do Verizon nationally, we can do Verizon locally. And that's a big deal because now we can help these brands target who they're going to activate right inside that mobile app with different footprints across the country, which is pretty cool. So we can activate any sponsor. We do it the exact same way in a single workflow, so it never changes, meaning on the team side, who's actually making the objects interactive, they don't have to teach them anything. That's a really hard thing to do with all the steps in the NFL and the licensing and the compliance and the first party data. We cover all that for them. As our fans are shopping these sponsors' messages, something really interesting happens. The fan clicks on what he or she wants to click on, look at, or buy. The act of doing that, we have designed a proprietary funnel that organizes each leg of the fan journey in the order and the time spent. So we know what photo you clicked on, what's in it. We know what the object you were perusing was. We know if you clicked on that object third or first, and we know exactly what happened. And that's for every single interactive object within potentially the 1.2 billion units of media the NFL has. So what's fascinating about this is not only does it get the sponsor activation, which we'll talk about in a second, meaning the brand that sponsors with the team will get them to click on it where they can sell the product directly from the post or drive them to more engaging information about the brand. We'll see any ancillary thing they clicked on, and we'll see the end result, meaning we can figure out how to tell the best story to give the fan the best fan experience and for the team to accomplish its business goals by allowing its sponsor to hit all of its KPIs. Because their audience is the biggest. They've got 100 million fans in the US alone. It's the biggest on the planet. So these are some of the types of things that we capture. Our patents are for capturing first-party data. And you can see not only we capture all the engagement, we get the traffic, the clicks, the links, the products. We can tell what's a quality visit, what isn't, and if anything ends in a sale, that occurs. If you try to do this somewhere else, you're really going to need 5 or 6 tools at least. There's no place that has all of this in a single workflow that actually delivers a better fan experience to the fan and doesn't make it worse like a pop-up ad does. So when Najee and I started doing this, we stumbled on a wonderful discovery. And we went to the team to say, hey, we need to integrate our technology. It's going to do all these wonderful things for you. So they said, okay, we have a mobile app vendor. Talk to them, and if they'll integrate you, if you can pass compliance, we'll go live because we love the technology. Najee and I stumbled onto a wonderful secret, and that secret is not only do all 32 teams outsource the hosting of their mobile app to 2 vendors, but over 220 teams globally. So you can imagine our excitement when we realized we could plug in twice and have every tier 1 city in the world with a professional or college sports and entertainment franchise. And in some cases, the building acts as its own entity, like Madison Square Garden. You imagine there's 200 acts going there a year at least. We could monetize every musician, every product they're selling, every cross promotion, any story they want to tell. We can do it. And they never leave the mobile app of the publisher. And that's the difference. So we give them the power of a Facebook or a TikTok, but inside their own app.
In terms of the monetization opportunity, everybody saw it this year. A lot of people talked about it. The world was on board with it, but I gotta bring it up is Taylor Swift, the Swifties. You talk about a vertical like the NFL, and specifically to Ryan's question about expansion. Jonathan had mentioned, and a venue could be a placeholder that has a mobile app that wants to integrate our technology to sell products direct to consumer or raise awareness. Entertainment covers everything from music, sports, health and wellness, financial literacy now with athletes and players. And with the growing of cross marketing with somebody like a Taylor Swift and a Travis Kelce, you allow fans around the world to now participate in something like the NFL, or like with Taylor Swift, bringing billions of people together on one platform. That platform could be the NFL during the fall. It could be somewhere in Europe in the spring. It could be somewhere in Asia in the summertime. But we can activate all of those products, the downloads, the streams, the very thing that each content creator as an artist or any platform holder like a Madison Square Garden or anywhere around the world can actually monetize and highlight. And it brings them all that data. It brings them their fans together. And it also allows every user to communicate in a single language that is universal to everyone. So if you see something, naturally, a lot of people now, because John said before, the next thing to do is click on something. There's no pop-up ads. There's nothing to turn you away from what you actually want to see. And it allows the content holder and the content provider to publish way more engaging content.
One of the features we're most excited about is, if any of you have Apple phones, for the last year or so, you could kind of click on a photo and the object would get highlighted, which is awesome. And so you say, okay, well, how does that going to pair with what VEEPIO does? Well, I'll tell you. So those boxes we put on the content, we can make them invisible because it's just metadata. And we can harness that glow or shimmer of the exact object that Apple's made in photo, and we can put it in video. And we can allow you to shop directly without interrupting anything we're doing, because we need that metadata, that box around the object, to capture data the way our system processes it in real time, super fast. And again, that's why it's metadata. So it's just XY coordinates and a link, meaning it shows you how we can do billions of messages, like the stock market. So it's something we're experts in. We built it before. It was really funny. Najee and I always joke, in 2015, we're like, we're going to draw this. And by the way, it's never been done before. It's going to do all this stuff. and you have a napkin in your hand. You're walking around New York City, and 6 years later, you get a letter in the mail. It's like, oh, by the way, it was unique. You're like, yeah, I don't get it. It took so long. But anyway, it was quite a shock seeing our perspective on the field, envisioning what it could be, and then actually building it and finding out it was the right thing to do. So it took a long time to kind of figure all this stuff out. And now that we have, it's just step and repeat. It's repeatable, scalable. The business models exist. We have a whole bunch of ideas of how the end game of this will work. And we're excited to get there.
Yeah, I was going to say too, really quick to touch on another point, just for anybody's out there that's thinking about it, in terms of like manufacturing coupons, obviously that's something that a publisher will want to do. But along with our implementation process of our technology, when we integrate, there are checks and balances to make sure that we are providing the best service that we do to the client in terms of, hey, I want to make these shoes interactive. There's a coupon for a shoe. I want to make it interactive so that they can get that coupon for that shoe. So when they click on it, the coupon pops up, bam, you can get that shoe at a discounted rate because we're having a drop sale. Now, all of that is cross-reference and checked with the content owner. So in terms of conservativeness and securities, I think that's a big point to know. We're not just out here posting highlight videos of Jonathan and I working out with the Philadelphia. So I just wanted to say that, you know, in terms of what we do and what we manufacture, it is the tech. And like what Jonathan just mentioned, everything that comes behind it. So it is very safe. We're in with the NFL for a reason because obviously they have security protocols. It's, you know, one of the highest grossing revenue organizations in the world.
So posed for incredible growth with low overhead.
Yes. Yeah. For people not very familiar with the NFL, this slide is way more diverse than it looks. I mean, you have an actual owner, which is insane, right? Like that doesn't happen. And especially one that's involved as much as Jeff Lurie is architecting everything. You see him on draft day. Marcel Darius, 3rd overall pick in the draft. D'Amico, I mean, he's a leader in any setting he's in, but he's risen to the top. You have centers, which are the quarterbacks. You have a lot of linebackers, running backs. And why I'm talking about the positions is really the diversity in the positions. Is the cultural diversity is insane.
Like one question. So before we wrap up, I know time is running out. So sources and uses. So you've already raised significant amount of money. I think close to $5 million. Right? Very impressive. Created the product, got the contract, got the relationship, got one of the biggest team that is out there to sponsor you, be partner with you. So all those things, check. Now, if the money comes in, $10 million, how are you gonna use it? I'll use the word when the money comes in, not if.
Yes.
The money comes in.
Very strategically, we know, like Najee mentioned a little bit earlier, there are connections between cities in the NFL that most people don't know. Kansas City and Philadelphia, for example. Not only the Taylor Swift recently, but Andy Reid, a lot of players going back and forth. There are lots of sister cities in the NFL that really operate and follow each other in ways that you probably wouldn't believe. And so strategically, we're going to pick up those cities, get our sponsors, our technology written into the sponsorship contract of all 32 teams, because we want to have extreme flexibility. And then we're going to start ratcheting up some of those campaigns. And in some of those sponsorship contracts for the teams and their sponsors use our tech, in special places, we're allowed to get special things. One is with the Eagles. So if anyone looks at our Instagram, you're going to see that anytime a player or a former player went to a community event, and there's 250 community events throughout the year, high schools, like Najee said, the autism run, I don't know, the cheerleaders, local teachers in high schools, military. You're going to see someone there with a VEEPIO logo and an Eagles logo next to each other in the Eagles mobile app, and our technology making it interactive. And so you can kind of start to see building the ecosystem is working again with the kids, men, girls, the girls flag football initiatives, the military initiatives, the teachers. You start to see us integrate there. So we'll really be targeting all those problems. We'll be solving a lot of those problems for the community initiatives of the team, along with the sponsorship contracts. And we're going to ratchet up doing campaigns. We're going to really be able to go heavy. Like I said, each team has 40 to 60 sponsors. Probably 10 or 20 of them are really in our wheelhouse. For instance, fantasy football. Why aren't you clicking on a guy and seeing what his fantasy stats are? Like in real time at all times. Now that gambling's legal, why aren't you doing that and seeing what the odds are to score a touchdown in the second quarter? I mean, people aren't betting once a game; they're betting 100 times a game. Why aren't you linking in content from experts telling you how the guy's going to perform versus stats, right? And that's just one example, the Spotify example I gave you. How about Marriott? 10,000 people are flying to the game. Why wouldn't we activate Marriott, you shop their hotel rooms, get a coupon, eat at their boutique restaurant, and get an American Airlines flight? And so you can start to see like this entire thing is already merchandise, and that's what attracted us to it, because they've really done the hardest part. Like they've gotten everything in one place. It's now just takes this tool that we figured out how to build to connect them all together and extract the most money out.
And I think the good thing to add too is that with that 10 million, what we will be essentially doing in terms of integration, implementation, and execution is one thing, which is really what's cool about it. Like athletes, they always tell you to run the same play. And good for me, I never had too many concussions. So I used to make good tackles and good plays, and they used to do the same thing all the time. So we get to run the same play and execute at a high level that our business is led by Jonathan and guys like Brian. It allows us to answer all of those questions. And by having this infusion of capital, it'll allow us to run the sub 4.4, 4.3, 4.2, 4.1 40s all around the world for every athlete. And if it's different in each sport, we'll find out how to make sure.
And that'll start with technology. So we're going to automate all the tech we already have, make it bigger, stronger, faster. All the AI tools, again, those are delivered via URL. So any service that's coming out, they're a complement to us. They're not a competitor, because we can deliver them all in. We can make the products 3D. We can, whatever it is that we need to do, deliver voice URLs into there to enhance that experience. We'll do that. 2, we're really going to work hard on the onboarding of clients. We want to make sure our tool VEEPmaker can be downloaded from the App Store. So just a simple click of the button, the enterprise version is ready to go. Their entitlements will be set, and they can start VEEPing. The third thing is going to be the reporting tools. We have some wonderful ideas to combine some of the newer tools that have come out to give you real-time visualizations of individual photos, videos, podcasts, however we make them, automate them to provide you real-time feedback on what's happening, and then give personal preferences and predictions on what might work better. So which objects should you highlight? In what frame? Why? Right? Should it be on a word? Like, on the entire timeline. So there's all this kind of stuff that's coming. And of course, we're going to be doing some brand building as well, building up some social media stuff. You'll hear a lot more about us, and the rest will be on sponsorship, contracts with teams, and foreign outside of the NFL. So I want to give you a comprehensive answer. I got one thing I'd like to just add on to what you said. So if you look at, we've put in a lot of our own money, a lot. Nobody believes more than us, and we've done all the work. And we continue to do it, and we'll continue to do it. So we're good stewards of capital. 2, I'll put my finance hat on and join you on your side of the table for a second. When I look around at everything this company has, and we're happy to answer more questions anytime, and I look at the space, the NFL, the Premier League, if someone could show me a company that's raised less than 50 or $100 million that has half of what we have, let me know, because it doesn't exist. We've spent $5 million in this ecosystem. That is a drop of water. So, and the basement is the hardest thing to build, and it's done.
Incredible. I just think the energy, the savvy, sports mind meets business mind is phenomenal. You guys are so much fun to work with. So for any investor that is looking for something in this vertical, these guys are a blast. Thank you all so much. You guys are incredible presenters. Thank you, Pankaj and Flo, for joining as well. So
thank you all. Really appreciate it.
Excited to get this funded.
Thanks, everybody.
Join us.
Thank you.